Africa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really impressed to be here today to share with you what I have been through. I'm a proud citizen of the United States. When I was very little, as Ruth mentioned, that's when my country has abandoned me. That's when I started to live without parents. And today, to be a citizen of the United States, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud that I have home. I'm very proud that I go to bed every night and know that my alarm clock will wake me. But when I was in Sudan, I go to bed every night and I know that the sound of gun will wake me up. So today, before I go over my story, I came to Columbus, Ohio in December of 2005 to start going to school at the Ohio State University, which was January 2006. So when I got there, I was charged for the out-of-state fee. And somebody stepped up and he said, wait a minute, do we have to charge him for the out-of-state fee? And he's a lost boy. Where is his home? The person was so brave enough to question the rule that everybody who came from the other country, who came from the other state, from California, from Phoenix, Arizona, have to be charged because they don't live in Columbus, Ohio. But this person doesn't have home. It's not belonging to Sudan. It's not belonging to Kenya. It's not belonging to any state here in the United States. So my out-of-state fee was clear. It's my pleasure today that it was 4 years ago, but today that person is in this room. Tally Hart is here. I will not allow her to stand up, but if you could wave, that would be enough. Thank you. My journey of hope began when I was 6 years old. And what happened to me when I was young is something that I will never forget. I was very little, and it is not the right time to remember what happened to you. But if something is really bad, there's no way that you can forget it. This is what happened to me when I was very little. The government troop came to my village, and he started opening the gunfire. They were coming with tanks, opening the artilleries. They were coming with airplane, dropping the bomb. What I just did was just run away, and I didn't know what was going on, something that I never had. I heard that there's a war, but it was going on in the big cities, but I never learned that this war will come to my own neighborhood. So I was just attending my father's livestock at the yard, very close. I was not old enough to go to the bush, but I was just doing the job at the nearby area. So what you see on this image is the last memory of my village. That's the last memory of what I was doing. I don't remember where was my family members that time, but I was just remember what I was doing. That was the last minute when I get separate from mom, from my dad, and from my other sibling. The rest of my siblings were born after I left. What happened to me when I left? I ran away because of the war, and there was no way that I could go back. The whole village was banned. So I just went into the hiding, and there was no sign of peace. So I started my way out far away from the village. Then I found myself in the middle of nowhere. I found myself in a territory that belonged to somebody else, that belonged to lion. So I got a lot of attack from the lion. Me and my group, people who joined me on the walks, we were walking, and we got a lot of attack from the lion. So every time when there's attack from the lion, at the end of the attack, we learned that we lost one person. At the end of the attack, we learned that we lost 2 or 3 people. There's nothing that we can do to kill the lion, because we are very little. But we came up with the tactic that we have to run for the tree, because the lion will not climb the tree. The other tactic was to come together as a group and make loud noise. So that scared the lion. And when the lion see you in a big group, he thought that you are one big animal, so will not dare to attack you. That's what happened to me. And other than that, all right, sorry for that. With the image that we lost there, it's something that we eat during that time. We had no food when we left the village. But to be in the middle of nowhere and you need to survive, you make your mind, what can you eat? So the main food during that time was the wild plant. Anything that we just get in the forest, the leaf, the wild berries, and the root. Some of those plants turned out to be poison. So it was easy that we lost some of the family, some of our friends and relatives. And we were able to survive because of the wild plant. Then we made it to Ethiopia, where we spent 4 years. And there was another civil war that took place in that country. So when the war broke out in Ethiopia, we were forced. The same thing that happened when I left my village was another case in Ethiopia, in the refugee camp. The rebellion from that country came to the camp. Instead, they have to inform us ahead of time to leave, to go back to our country. They were coming with guns. They start firing the gun into the camp. So we ran away from the camp, going back to Sudan. Then on the way, at the border of Sudan and Ethiopia, there's a river. On that river, the river was so swollen with a lot of water, and the current was so strong. So, and the enemies were coming behind, chasing us. So we jumped in. I just jumped in. I knew how to swim, but I was not able to swim because the river was crowded with people. So I could not move my arm. So I just keep diving until I found myself on the other side of the river. So when I get there, I just ran. I ran until I found myself in distance where the bullet could not reach me. But many of my friends who were not able to swim were drawn. Some were captured. Some of them who knew how to swim were carried away by the current of water. And when they get to the other side, and they thought that they will come back. There's crocodile in the river. They were taken away by the crocodile. So I lost all my friends, most of them, through that incident. So that's the snapshot of what happened to me. Then what's next? I came to US in 2001 and came to Columbus. And in 2005, the peace has been signed in my country. So I went back home, and what I found in my village was not a good news. I had good reunion with people, but other than that reunion, there was nothing good that I could tell about my village. In the village, there was only one person in the village that was treating people, and was second-grade person in English. So I was so concerned about the life of people in my village. So what's next in my vision is to provide a medical clinic to my people in my village. That's what I'm working next. So what concerned me mostly when I went home, I was able to sit down with people, with my uncles, with relatives, and ask them, see what they have been through. But most of them were not concerned about themselves. They were not worried that they are sick, that they are starving, but they worried about the young generation, the next generation, that don't know anything about the future, that have no hope about tomorrow. That's what concerns them most. Today, my journey of hope is not over. I have accomplished part of it. But with the step that I get from the people, like Tally Hart, I want to give back to the community by helping some other people. So my message, I know that there are more Tally Hart in this room, in this country. If you join me on my journey of hope, we can make difference. Thank you so much.